We get set for game number 3 tonight here in Los Angeles. The Kings return home to a building where they've been dominant, winning all 7 playoff games and 14 in a row when you take into account the regular season. Mike Richards won't play again tonight for the 2nd straight game. When you look back at game 2, the line of Jeff Carter, Tyler Toffoli, and Dustin Penner was their best, and they're going to have to continue to be here tonight. It's also a big bounce-back game for goaltender Jonathan Quick, who was pulled in the 2nd game, and they're going to need him to be solid from the very beginning. When you look at the Chicago Blackhawks, they feel like they're the dominant team. They did an excellent job of dictating the tempo in games 1 and 2. If that continues here tonight, it'll be interesting to see how it unfolds. So it'll be a big push from the Kings in front of their home crowd, especially early. But if Chicago gets to their team speed again and they dictate the game, they'll be right where they want to be. That's the story here as we get set for game number 3 in Los Angeles.
Last time the Kings lost at Staples Center was March 23rd, so looking to continue the streak, and being in a 2-0 deficit, certainly not insurmountable at this time, being the conference final, although it hasn't happened in a while. Ironically, the last time was 1991, and it was the Pittsburgh Penguins against the Boston Bruins.
Yeah, and at that time, of course, Mario Lemieux was in the middle of his career, playing for the Penguins, and Jaromir Jagr was also playing for the Penguins at the early stages of his career, so it was a long time ago. Coincidental? We'll see if history kind of repeats itself here, but it doesn't look like it right now.
Jaromir Jagr had just turned 19 years old.
The baby.
Yeah, still going strong. Had a nice performance last night for the Boston Bruins. So those are the teams that have rallied after trailing 0-2 in the conference finals. For more, let's go to Barry Melrose on which of these teams can mount the comeback.
Well, I know we have 2 series going on, and both those series, one team is down 2-0, but I think without a doubt, if you've watched the games, you got to think the LA Kings have the best chance of getting back in this series. First off, I think you can really solidify the main problem with LA, and that has been goaltending. Not that it's a problem, but Jonathan Quick is used to playing better, and LA Kings are used to him playing better. So when he was average in Game 2, that really caught the LA Kings by surprise. Jonathan Quick turns into Jonathan Quick again. This series can change in a heartbeat. LA can win 2 games in LA, and this is the best of 3 series again. We saw it happen against St. Louis. So as far as Pittsburgh concerned, Pittsburgh's a mess. Their goaltending is not good. They're not winning any battles. They're not winning any foot races. They don't look like they really care. They're being outfought for every loose puck. Really seem disinterested. The star players are basically non-existent. So if you look at the 2 series, you got to think the LA Kings with Jonathan Quick, with their defensive system, have a lot better chance of getting back in a series than the Pittsburgh Penguins do.
Okay, let's start in the Western Conference. EJ, what do the LA Kings need to do? Aside from just feeding off the energy of the hometown crowd tonight, what do they need to do to get back in this series?
Well, I mean, obviously they need to score some goals, right? I mean, you're not going to win. I don't care who's involved if you're not scoring, and they've had trouble scoring. So that's the first thing. And how do you score more? Well, they've got to play more in the Chicago Blackhawks end. They've got to get their forechecking game going, got to get their cycle game going below the dots. They've got to get in on those Blackhawk defense and make it hard for them. Chicago Blackhawks play with terrific pace, particularly, that's their calling card. When the Chicago Blackhawks are playing well, they are moving, playing with speed, coming out of their own end, flying through the neutral zone, and really creating a lot of problems with their speed. The LA Kings have to find a way to cut that off in that offensive zone, in their, in the defensive zone, create more zone time, get it cycled down below the dots, get some of those big bodies in front of Corey Crawford, and really make life more miserable for the Hawks in their end. If they can't do that, then they really don't have any chance to get anything done in this game, because they're going to be, they're going to be on their heels the whole night with the Chicago Blackhawks pushing them back. Playoff series are always about matchups, and right now this matchup of Chicago's speed against LA's kind of more size and gritty game, it really favors the Blackhawks.
Kings need a big performance from the Kopitar, Brown, Williams line, and they've been here before. Let's not forget round number 1 against St. Louis Blues.
Yeah, it looked different, though. I
agree.
Like, if you were watching it, it looked different, because like St. Louis, that was 2 games in St. Louis. Quick gives a puck away behind the net on a power play in overtime, fluky loss. And then the next game, he gives up a bad goal to Barrett Jackman there, kind of a surprise goal. So, but LA looked like they were in the games. In stretches here against Chicago, they look like they are really struggling.